Yo, what is going on, guys? It's me, Jim9174, back after a little hiatus because I wanted to upload and yeah, well, I want to record. Who knows if I'll upload it? You do, because you're watching it and you know I did. Or else I didn't upload it and you never know that. Just kidding. Okay, so what we're going to go into today is my draft for the ORAS Draft League. Pretty much we're playing Gen 6 draft. We draft 8 Pokemon, and we battle each other in a big tournament type thing. I think there's like, if I'm not mistaken, like nearly 800 people in the tournament. Something like that, like 700 and something people in the tournament. So, is that right? I don't think that's right. Yeah, I think there's like 380 something actually. 384. Yeah, that number sounds more right. Anyway, yeah. Still a lot of people, and yeah, I said I would I told myself I'd do a draft or do a YouTube video on the draft if I make it past pools, which I thought you had to win your pool to make it out of pools, which would have been more impressive, and I did actually win my pool, but you don't need to win your pool to make it out of pools, so we went from like 384 to like 192 people now. But actually, for winning my pool, I got bye in the first round, so it'll be down to 128 people before I have to play my next round. So right now, this week, I'm chilling after winning my pool, and yeah, I thought I'll quickly, well, I'll go over my draft, and because I like my draft, I think I fancy myself as a good Pokemon drafter. It's my favorite way of playing Pokemon, and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, actually my favorite competitive generation, hands down. My favorite competitive gen has to be one with Megas, because Megas are my favorite, and yeah, between Gen 6 and Gen 7, I'd probably give it to Gen 6. Gen 6 has my heart just that little bit more. But Gen 7's really good as well. Gen 9's really good as well. Gen 8, bad. Bad. Really bad. But anyway, I digress. That was tangential. We'll be going over the Pokemon that I drafted here. So I thought I'd give you guys a look at this just to see. This isn't my draft pool, but this is just to give you an idea of how many points each Pokemon was. So each person starts off with 90 points, and then you draft in your draft pool, which will have 8 people. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the draft will go in snake. So in this draft pool, it started with Joesh, and then went to boom, 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 and then once it gets to Toy Time King, he'll get to pick again. So he would have gotten Keldeo, immediately Mega Venusaur, and then TJB145 got his second pick, and then it goes back around. And then once it gets back to him, he draws Latias, and then immediately Infernape, and then everyone else gets their third pick, and then once Toy Time King gets... You get it, you get it. I think this gives a big advantage to last place, and then also an advantage to first place, because they get a lot of back-to-back picks. Because there's a lot of scenarios where, like, the synergy of Pokemon is very important. So you're like, okay, I want Charizard Y as my Mega if I can draft regular Venusaur, but if I can't get regular Venusaur, then I want Mega Diancie as my Mega. And so, like, if you're like in the middle of the draft, you have no way of guaranteeing or even being fairly sure that you'll get whatever Pokemon you want to pair with the Pokemon you previously drafted. But if you're at the end of the draft or at the start of the draft, you always drafted in pairs, in twos. And so I can be like, okay, I'll grab Mega Charizard Y, and then immediately Venusaur. Nobody can snipe me in between. Yeah, so I think those are the broken spots. And yeah, I got to draft number 8. So yeah, you have 90 points, and let me pull up my calculator real quick. So 90 divided by 8 equals 11.25. So that's the average pick you'll get. So if you drafted, what, like 6 11-point Pokemon and 2 12-points, I think that about evens out. Yeah, that would be like if you wanted it to like really balance your picks. But the strategy everyone goes with, because it's the best strategy, is to take some higher up picks, and then later on you're gonna have to pick some lower down picks to balance out your points, which is fine, because you can get some goodies down there, and not having a Pokemon like a 12-point Pokemon being your best Pokemon is honestly just a troll. Like I think these 12-point Pokemon are super underrated. I think 12 is like the last bastion of like really good Pokemon, and then after that you're kind of like, yeah, kind of good Pokemon. But like, I drafted, spoilers, I drafted a lot around like the 12 to 15 range, because I felt like those were the Pokemon where you could get a lot for your points. Yeah, like someone in my draft drafted, I think like Mega Gardevoir straight into Mew, which was like 36 points down the drain. Anyway, but I digress. Yeah, I'm just gonna get straight into my draft. So I'm not gonna go over what like how my draft pool went. I'm just gonna say straight up, I didn't get sniped once. I nearly got sniped, but I changed my mind before I got sniped. Of what? Anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna get into it. I'm rambling too long. So, first two Pokemon I drafted, because remember, I'm drafting everything in pairs, so, let me just click in. So, the first Pokemon I drafted was Mega Medicham and Talonflame. So, my idea going to this draft was to, kind of make my strategy as I went on. I've done, like, different strategies for different drafts I've been in. I've been in, like, quite a few. Like, I think the last draft I was in, I wanted to draft a rain team, and so, like, I had a lot of strategies for, like, hiding what sort of team I wanted to draft until, like, I got a lot of rain Pokemon. It was, like, very smart and very cool. I got away with it, but, like, I didn't want to do that this time, and, yeah, I think having a strategy going in is just, like, you're begging to be sniped. You need to have, like, just ideas, and then, like, always be dynamic of, like, what roles you want filled, and like different ways you can fill those roles. And yeah, I had my eyes on these two because one, I wanted to use Pokemon that I really missed using, that you can't really use in the current gen. And yeah, you can use Talonflame in Gen 9, but you cannot use this broken ass version of Gale Wings. The Pokemon's flying type moves have their priority increased by 1. For those that don't know, this is the only gen where this version of the ability exists. In Gen 7 and onwards, they changed it to where you need to be full health to get a priority fighting type move, which is way more balanced, but way less fun. This, you can just Brave Bird and Brave Bird and Brave Bird, and that was the meme in Gen 6. You just choice band Brave Bird, and you click Brave Bird, and you click more Brave Bird, because you have a priority base 120 stab move. Base 120 base power stab move, yeah. And 81 attack is... You're almost like, oh, come on, you're so close. But no, you're there. You are there, because this still hits like a truck. And like, if the priority isn't enough, like no priority Pokemon's outspeeding a Talonflame, because they're like Bisharp at like 262 speed, and Breloom and Azumarill, like all these slow Pokemon that have priority moves back in Gen 6. Like, maybe in Gen 9 you have like Qianpao and stuff that could outspeed it. Maybe it would be a bit more balanced then, but yeah, I don't know. It's still so broken. It's so broken. And so what this thing gives me is the best revenge killing in the game, because no matter what, no matter how fast they get, I have a base 120 power priority move in the back, so that's great. And I bring this thing banded like most of the time, because it's just if this doesn't really have a good matchup, then I still want to bring it and just have a banded Brave Bird in the back in case things get dicey. Every single time. So yeah, this gives me speed, best revenge killing in the game. So I have so much speed, and then we have so much power from Mega Medicham. Like, these two Pokemon in this gen, it was like the epitome of power and the epitome of speed. And so like having both of those feels like way too strong for like 2 picks. I have like so much covered that like, yeah, I feel like a lot of drafts end up being too weak, you know, you don't have enough power to muscle through a lot of teams, or they end up being too slow. They don't have ways of dealing with X setup sweeper, and I have both of those pretty much covered in most scenarios with my first 2 picks, which feels great. But yeah, Mega Medicham is so good. For those who don't know, again, pure power, your attack is doubled. Yeah. What more do we need to say? Yeah, your attack is doubled. That's the ability. Your attack is doubled. It's the same as huge power, which Azumarill gets, but Azumarill has a base 50 attack, so it's like huge power. Okay, yeah, with huge power it gets up to like, what? This is essentially a base 149 attack once you do all the EVs and stuff, which is broken. It's not just doubling the base stat, it's doubling the actual stat. And yeah, you would need a 149 base attack to get up to 436 attack at max attack adamant, which is essentially what Azumarill is sitting at. But Medicham... So let's just throw in high jump kick real quick so we can get our IVs sorted. Sits at 328. So that is 656 attack, which I believe, don't quote me on this, actually do quote me on this, I'm pretty sure I'm right, is a 249 base attack. 249. Nah, come on, bro. Come on. That's what. And it has a 130 base power. Stab move. Oh my god, this thing is too powerful. It's way too powerful. It is way too powerful. Nothing lives that. It's just so powerful. And then it's like, it's not slow either. It's like middling speed, like fast even. 100 base speed. Oh my god. This thing is way too good, and it's not bulky, but it's not paper frail. 85 is good, 60's not good, but yeah. And it gets so much coverage, like it gets like all the punches, Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, where's Ice Punch? There. Poison Jab, stuff like that. Zen Headbutt obviously for stab. Yeah, just kind of the sort of coverage it gets. Energy Ball. No. You're only using physical attacks on this guy. But yeah. No, so good. So like this guy's gonna be like my wall breaker. Like, ain't nobody switching into this. And then this guy is my revenge killer, late game sweeper, because he's so fast and still so strong. So yeah, okay. I'm very happy with this, but I can't get too excited. This does bring some weaknesses onto my team, mostly because both of these guys are frail. This guy isn't taking hits well. This guy, same thing, just not taking hits well. So I need some things that can take hits. Like I need defensive steel types. I still don't have a stealth rocker. Talonflame gives me a 4x rock weak, so I need to deal with that. Get some sort of hazard removal. So I have a lot of roles to fill and a lot of weaknesses to sort of patch up with my next picks. And I did blow quite a lot of points on this as well. Mega Medicham being a 16-point pick and Talonflame being... I couldn't believe this was a 14-point pick, by the way. It should be way higher, I feel. It's so good. But yeah, I think... I think I got it for a steal. Even if those were Yeah, so like I said earlier, 11.25 is going to be my average points per Pokemon. So with these two Pokemon, yeah, it leaves me less points to use later. But I'm happy with that. I'm not gonna be picking from the top of the uh, from any higher than 16. Just spoiler alert. Like a lot of these Pokemon, I was thinking about Clefable, I was thinking about Excadrill being a good spinner. Latios was one I was big, big considering. But yeah, no, these next two Pokemon are what I settled on, and I didn't get sniped, thankfully, and I managed to get Jirachi and who else? Who else? Oh yeah, Starmie. So that's a 15 and 12 point pick. So Jirachi and Starmie. Yeah. So yeah, I was very happy with this. It gives me a lot of the rolls that I was listing out earlier. Bulky Steel type, yes. Stealth Rocker, yes. It gives me a Scarfer because you kind of want something that can hold a Scarf. You don't want to rely on Priority Brave Bird for everything when it comes to revenge killing. So having a good Scarf option in Jirachi, because I'm gonna want to have a Scarf for most games as well as having the Talonflame in the back. So having Jirachi there is great. Yeah, and just the versatility of this mon is so good. Like, I'm gonna see myself running Choice Scarf. Obviously, I can just run an Expert Belt and then run things like Energy Ball, Thunderbolt, like Flash Cannon for fairies, you know, stuff like this. It gets so much coverage. I could even run like Fire Punch for like a mixed set. You know, whatever, because it's a draft league. I'm gonna know what 8 Pokemon they can bring, and I can bring coverage just to hit everything super effectively. And Jirachi loves running that sort of a set. And then yeah, I'm gonna run Leftovers a lot and just run it like especially bulky to be able to take things like Mega Gardevoirs, Hyper Voices, and things like that. Just all the resistances Steel type gives you, especially Steel Psychic. I think is one of the better dual typings to go with Steel. And then these base 100 stats across the board just make you so versatile. I can be physical, special, bulky, fast, whatever I want. And yeah, last but not least, giving me Stealth Rock option. Like even on an Expert Belt set, like with these 3 moves, I can run Stealth Rock last move and boom, I fit Stealth Rocks on my team, and it'll scare out a lot and get rocks. It'll be great. Starmie, if it feels a fast Pokemon, it's a nice speed tier. You don't want to be locked in speed tiers where, yeah, you don't want to give them being your opponent an easy time in picking which speed tiers their Pokemon should go for. So even if they have something faster than Starmie, the fact that I have something that's base 115 speed, so that they have to run enough speed for it, like Greninja, for example, would have to run Timid because I have a Starmie, because I can't afford to not outspeed one of my Pokemon, because that's Greninja's whole thing, is like outspeeding your team and hitting off attacks. But yeah, if I didn't have something this fast, then yeah, things could run Modest more easily, or they could like just speed for Jirachi or like whatever my highest speed Pokemon is if it's not Starmie. So yeah, the speed is a big thing, and the main thing is Rapid Spin. Like I was saying earlier, I wanted to draft Latios, but I thought 17 points is too much, and I was like, I don't want to be weak to like, you know, Keldeo, or like, I want something to switch into strong water type attacks and be able to remove hazards, which was what I wanted Latios for, and be a fast special attacker. And then Starmie like hits all of those, and yeah, it gives me a water type that while not being extremely bulky, oh, I just noticed it's the same bulk as Medicham. That's so cool. Yeah, when it tries to like fake being bulky, it just runs max speed, max HP, and it's just really fast and really bulky. So as well as coming in and be able to take resisted hits from Pokemon like Keldeo or like whatever offensive water type I'm facing. It will also often be faster than Pokemon and be able to like revenge kill it. I'll just run whatever coverage like Thunderbolt or Psy Shock I need for that Pokemon, or even like Thunder Wave to be able to cripple it. And yeah, it's just a spinner and potentially a fast special attacker as well. I can just run this and then it gets great coverage like Psychic, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, yeah, just stuff like this. And I run Hydro Pump Blast, Grass Knot if you want, Dazzling Gleam it even gets, like Power Gem, Signal Beam, it just gets great coverage. It gets like Trick. I was debating running Reflect type for one of my opponents as well. Yeah, just a great Pokemon, great pickup. It patches a lot of the holes I have on my team, and yeah, just great to have. Okay, so this is the point where I start looking at my points, and I spent 30 on my first 2 picks, and I spent 27 on my next 2 picks, so what do I have, like 33 left for my next 4 picks. So I knew that I wanted 6 Pokemon that I felt like I could rely on and could bring no matter what, and then my last 2 Pokemon could be like budget Pokemon that just fill a couple of the glaring gaps that I feel like I have left on my team. And so when I was looking at what roles I want to fill, because at this point I'm honestly looking at what roles I want to fill, because any roles I have to fill are filled. I have like 2 Pokemon, like if I wanted to go balance, I can run a bulky Jirachi and a bulky Starmie, and I have a bulky Water and a bulky Steel. What are you gonna do? I have Hazard Removal, I have a Hazard Setter, Revenge Killer, Wall Breaker. I have everything that I need. I just I'm looking at things that I want from here on out. So one option that I really want to have is, if I can get it, is Spikes. So sorry, when you're looking at the Pokemon that can learn Spikes, it's not too many, but one of the Pokemon that does learn Spikes is one of my favorites, and it is Roserade. Yeah, that's just the next Pokemon. So like I was eyeing up a few different options here. I pretty much at this point I had to start looking at my points and budgeting my points. So I knew the next 4 Pokemon I wanted, and I had a few different iterations in case I got sniped, but I didn't get sniped, so this was my top 4 Pokemon that I wanted. I was looking at like Hydreigon options as well, but Roserade is great, because the reason Roserade is so good in draft is this move, Hidden Power and Technician. This Pokemon's moves of 60 power or less have 1.5 times power. Hidden Power is 60 base power, so you have access to 90 base power move of any type you want, except for Fairy, because there's no Hidden Power Fairy, because Hidden Power was a move before Fairy was a type. But you have Dazzling Gleam, so it's not like you can't get Fairy coverage. So yeah, this this Pokemon ends up being absurd. You can run any type coverage you want for any sort of matchup you're going to go into, and yeah, that's why I love it for draft. You can surprise your opponent with like Hidden Power Electric or for Gyarados or something. You can run anything. Like, you see a 4 times effective option, you just go for it. You just surprise your opponent, because they're going to be expecting the Hidden Power Fires and the Hidden Power Fightings and stuff. But yeah, surprising your opponent with any Hidden Power is great, especially when you know what 8 Pokemon. So it's not like a troll. Like, yeah, if I'm running Hidden Power Electric Roserade for Pelipper's and Gyarados in OU, yeah, that's a bit of a troll, because I'm going to face them one in every like 20 battles or something. But if I know my opponent is probably going to bring a Gyarados, because it's one of their 8 Pokemon, and it's one of the Pokemon they spent more points on, and maybe it matches up decently well into my team, then yeah, I can run Hidden Power Electric, and yeah, this guy outspeeds Gyarados, I'm pretty sure, so it's great. It's great. Like, maybe run Scarf and just outspeed at +1. Yeah. You get the gist. But this guy gets Spikes as well, and it also gets like toxic spikes, so it completes like my potential hazard stacking opportunities because I have stealth rocks on Jirachi. So yeah, Roserade I was very happy with. I drafted as a pair with it Raikou. And now Raikou is a very fast electric type Pokemon. And it is yeah. It's a fast electric recording. Hello? Yeah, fast electric type? Wait, hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I got very confused about whether or not I was paused. I just paused to go to the bathroom. Where was I? I'm pretty sure I was talking about how this thing is a fast electric type. And I just realized I've been talking for 25 minutes. I'll try to wrap this up. Yeah, I might do my battles in another video actually. Seeing as this is dragging kind of. So, yeah, Raikou is a fast electric type, and fast electric types are really good in a draft. It's sort of a matchup check. If they don't have an electric community, you can just Volt Switch around and have so much fun. You're just like, I see no electric community, I'm like Specs. Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, I don't even care, Sleep Talk, whatever. I don't know, probably like extra sensory for like a, I don't know, maybe they have a Venusaur or a Roserade or something, but yeah. In terms of fast electric types, I was gonna go for Electrode, and have my fast electric type also be my budget options, because Electrode is up for 2 points, and spoiler, I'm gonna need to draft a 2-point Pokemon at the end. And looking through the 2-point Pokemon, I feel confident that I can get one that can decently pull off one roll. But I can't do like more than that. But Raikou, it's like a solid Pokemon and a fast electric type. It gives me like a potential setup sweeper. I'm gonna run AV sometimes just to soak up some special attacks. Just so like this draft is gonna end up being fairly offensive just because that's how I like it, and having like an AV Raikou to be able to soak up, be like a one-time switch into something, will be very important in certain matchups. And yeah, it can also be a choice Scarfer. Sorry, got the hiccups. Yeah, it's nice to have an option for like a very fast Scarfer like that to like dominate the speed tiers, have the fastest Pokemon on the team, and then have a Talonflame as well. You know, it's great. Yeah, fast electric types are great. Yeah, even if they have an electric community though, I can run the appropriate hidden power, if you get what I mean. And what I mean by that is, if they have a Landorus, then I run HP Ice. If they have a Gastrodon, then I run HP Grass. If they have a Camerupt or something, I can run HP Water, you know what I mean? So yeah. On top of this, it gets Aura Sphere. Now, to run Aura Sphere, you need to run Shiny and Rash Nature, I believe. Which isn't the worst nature, but it does reduce your speed. So sometimes you're like, oh, the coverage could be good, but also the speed tier I get from going Timid is good. So like, it's a trade-off. But I'll always be running Shiny just to bluff the Aura Sphere, or at least have it in my opponent's mind that it could be Aura Sphere, because if I'm not Shiny, it can't be Aura Sphere. Yeah, but yeah, it gets great coverage. Like I said, extra sensory for the other guys. Usually fast electric types don't get good coverage. It's like your electric moves and then your hidden powers, but Raikou gets really good coverage and has great base stats, so that it's fast electric type, also hits really hard, and also has good bulk to where it can run like sub Calm Mind, sets like that. So like, yeah, very, very happy with being able to pick up Raikou. Having not only a fast electric type, but a really good one, it's going to be really fun for the draft. So, for my last two picks, I have 8 points left, because Roserade and Raikou, as I'll show here, are 13 and... Where's Raikou? Oh, there. 13 and 12 points respectively. So, 33 points, so that leaves me with 8 points. And so down we go to the bottom of the draft. I knew that I didn't want any 1-point Pokemon. They pretty much just threw in here the Pokemon that have no viability in a draft league. Which means the Pokemon they threw in here have some viability in a draft league. Generally, the Pokemon in 2 points can fill one role somewhat well. So, like, you have a few diamonds in the rough, like Ariados. It can get up Sticky Web for you. It can give you Sticky Web as an option. So, like, that's something I was considering. But rather than having Sticky Web for an option for my 2-point pick, I was looking to fill the hole of only having one Stealth Rocker on my team. Oh, sorry, those are spoilers. Yeah, I think it's really bad to have to rely on one Pokemon to be your rocker every time. From a team building perspective, your opponent always knows either Jirachi is the rocker or they don't have rocks. So if they don't see Jirachi, they know I don't have rocks. If they see like Choice Scarf, they can kind of infer that I don't have rocks, or like I'm Choice Scarf rocks, or yeah. I'm always prone to bringing rocks on Jirachi, which lowers the amount of things I can do with it. I can't run like Choice Scarf 4 attacks, or like Choice Scarf 3 attacks Trick, or 3 attacks Healing Wish. I have to run Stealth Rocks if I want Stealth Rocks. Yeah, you gotta run Stealth Rocks if you want Stealth Rocks. That's how it is, guys. So, I knew for my 2-point pick, I wanted the Stealth Rocker, but also I knew that because I wanted a 2-point pick, that I could afford a 6-point pick. I didn't want like 2 4-point picks, because then I'm having 2 bad Pokemon. Whereas if I have a 2-point pick, I'm having a bad Pokemon and an okay Pokemon, which is, I think, much better. Because a lot of these Pokemon are pretty good. I would be like, a Scavalier can put in work. A Selgor is really good. I was thinking about that as a spiker if I didn't get what's his name? Roserade. Yeah. So yeah, I knew I needed a 6-point Pokemon, but I also knew that the biggest hole I needed to fill, if you look at my team, I don't have a Dark or Ghost Resist on my team. And in fact, I have a lot of Pokemon that are very weak. Super effective, neutral. So yeah, I'm getting rinsed by like a Gengar or like bloody Mismagius or anything, you know. Not having a Ghost Resist is not good, and not having a Dark Resist is not good. So I wanted both a Ghost and Dark Resist. The only type to do that is a Dark type. So I'm looking for a bulky Dark type, pretty much. I need a bulky Dark type. And the best bulky Dark type for 6 points, I felt, was Skuntank. No, I'm just baiting. It was... Where is it? Oh, Scrafty, just above it. Yeah, it's Scrafty. Oh my god, I keep going into the wrong view. Scrafty is, and I got with Golem. Golem was to fill my backup Stealth Rocker, and then Scrafty is my Ghost and Dark Resist. So Scrafty fills the Ghost and Dark Resist thing very well. If they have a strong special attacking Ghost or Dark type, I can run Assault Vest no problem. Look, 115 defense and special defense. 65 HP isn't good, but I'll always be running max HP there. And then with Assault Vest and like the special defense investment, it's taken nothing from Dark Pulses. Nothing. So like, yeah, just having this team will deter my opponent from going for Ghost and Dark type moves. And yeah, because I got it as a 6-point Pokemon, I also have the option of having a setup sweeper here, like Dragon Dance and bulk up options. Obviously, I won't be running this with Assault Vest, but like on the leftovers set, I don't know if I'll be running Assault Vest ever, if much if at all. But yeah, I could see myself running like specially defensive bulk up if I need to be specially defensive to take something on, and just like having a knock-offer is really good. And then like I think having Medicham into a backup fighting type is really good. My favorite team from back in ORAS was Hyper Offense with Medicham and Breloom, and you just have Medicham brute force through the fighting resists, and then Breloom just had a right old time just mock punching through everything. So yeah, those sort of synergies are there with Scrafty, which will be a great Pokemon when I bring it. And Golem, if I want rocks and I don't want to run it on Jirachi, I'll bring Golem, and that's pretty much it. But also, I said I could only get one roll out of a 2-point Pokemon, but this serves as a ground type as well, my electric immunity, because I was memeing on teams without electric communities earlier, saying that Raikou is like a big matchup check for teams without electric communities, but my team didn't have one up until I drafted Golem, so having that roll into it as well. And I think Golem is a solid Pokemon. It's mainly not used, I feel, because it's down in PU, but I think the way these sort of things work, like there's not so many Stealth Rockers and like Hazard Removers in general. There's not so many Rapid Spinners and like Hazard Removers in general. So the good ones are used up in OU, so that if you want to use one in UU, you have to use like sort of worser Pokemon that you're using just for the hazard removal, and then as you go down the tiers, once you get to like PU, there's like no hazard removers left that are any good, because they're all used up in the higher gens, because there's not, or higher tiers, because there's not so many of them, if you get me. But when it comes to good Stealth Rockers and good ground types, there's so many that by the time you're looking at Golem, it's not that Golem wouldn't do the job in like RU or something. It's that Rhyperior does it much better. If you're kind of getting my drift. If there weren't so many ground types that learn Stealth Rock, I think Golem would be much higher in usage in higher tiers. Because it can do the job. It just gets there's just Pokemon that can do it better. If what I said there makes sense. So I think it's better than what it's rated, even if it's not an amazing Pokemon, but it does the job, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's gonna have Sturdy, so I'm gonna use that as like a Suicide Rocker quite a bit, and I'm gonna use that as like a bulky ground type when I need to, and it's gonna be great. So yeah, this is my draft. These are my Pokemon. Yeah. I just kind of wanted to make this video because I am in round 2 of the tournament. So yeah, how the tournament's gonna work is right. Oh, I'll try and explain how the tournament works, because I'm still kind of understanding it myself. So this was my battle pool. So yeah, we'll go from the start. This is my draft pool. So like, yeah, you can see the guys I drafted here and the points and everything, and the other guys in my draft pool. So we got put in a draft pool with 8 people, and we had like 2 weeks to do this draft. We did the draft, and everyone drafts, and as you can see, there's like tons of pools. I think there's like over 100 pools all in all. Yeah, or like just under 100 pools, like 96 pools, something like that. And there's just as many, or I guess there'd be like 48 pools. Yeah, something like that. And you'd think I'd be able to go to the end of this, but no, they only have like 17 to 32 here, and then I think there was another sheet with 33 to 48. Yeah, so there's 48 draft pools of 8 people, which I believe means 384 people in the tournament, something like that. And so yeah, those 384 people are then broken down into 96 draft pools, or not draft, 96 battle pools. It's very complicated. It's hard to keep in my head. So these battle pools have 4 people, and you play everyone, and then the top 2 people, which for this battle pool was me and ZXG. Oh Jesus, I'm spoiling. Spoilers. If you want to see my games, but yeah. So yeah, I've already long since spoiled them getting out of the pool anyway. So you probably knew I won my games. Yeah, so me and ZXG got out of the pool. I got out first because I won both my games. It says I won 3, but I believe Sean didn't play any of his games. What? How do you win one? I don't understand, but anyway. Yeah, so you're put into battle pools of 4 people. You play everyone in your pool. The top 2 people go out. And so there were 384 people, but it's cut in half because 2 out of 4 people in every battle pool get into the bracket. And so there's 196 people in the bracket. No. There's 192 people in the bracket? Yeah. 192 people in the bracket. And if you know about brackets, you know that's not a terrible number, but not an ideal number. You want to have a number like 64, or 128, or 256. That's like 2 to the power of x, you know? So to put it down to 128, which is the next nice number you want, you break it up and you give 64 people a bye, and the rest of the 128 people play each other, and then the 64 people who win that will play against the 64 people who got bye, and then you have 128 people. I hope that makes sense. So since I got a bye because I won my pool and got lucky, I will be playing not this week, but next week in the round of 128. So the round where there's 128 people, and if I win that, I'll go down to the round of 64, where there's 64 people left, and if I lose that, I will have gotten, like 33rd, tied 33rd, and if I win that, I'll be down to the round of 32, where there's 32 people left in the tournament. So, how many rounds could I potentially have? So, round of 128, round of 64, round of 32, round of 16, round of 8, round of 4, round of 2, which would be the finals. So 7 games total if I get to the finals, which I probably won't. There's a lot of good players here, and I'm good, but I'm not like a top player. But hopefully I can get through a few rounds. I would be happy with that. If I get knocked out in the first round, I would not be happy with that. Second round, not be happy. Third round, I'd be okay. So hopefully I win. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I don't think anyone got this far, but I wanted to upload this regardless. 43 minutes, yeah. Yeah, nobody got this far. I wanted to upload this regardless. But like, on the off chance you did get this far, thank you so much. And comment, yo, Joe, I got this far. Because then I'll know you got this far, and I will know you're a real one. And if it's important for me to know if it's important for you that I know you're a real one, well then comment, yo Joe, I got this far. I am losing my mind, so I'm gonna stop recording. But thank you again. Just want to make this. Bye.